Welcome to the Schaefer Center here on the campus of Southwestern Assemblies of God University here in Waxahachie, Texas, where today SAGU Sports Live is proud to present doubleheader action as Southwestern plays host to the Bacone University Warriors. Both men and women in action today. I'm Rob Price along with my co-host Tim Robertson. Ladies at 3 o'clock, men here at 5 o'clock, and two big conference games, Tim.
Very big, especially for the ladies. It's going to really be a big determining factor on how they close their season off. And for the men, well, they're on a roll. They just need to keep that roll going against the Bacone team that appears to be safe on paper, but no game is safe in the Red River Athletic Conference, that's for sure.
It's been 3 weeks ago to the day since our last broadcast and the last home game here at the Schaefer Center, where the men now have won 8 in a row. They won all 5 road games. Ladies went 1-4 in the road trip, but both are still in playoff contention. Ladies in that 9th spot, Tim, looking to crack number 8 here against the number 8 seed right now, Bacone.
And this is exactly what they did last year. They found themselves at the bottom of the conference early on in the season, put together a couple of key wins against the teams in front of them, and all of a sudden they found themselves in that 8th spot last year. That's the goal again this year with a very young team. Talking to Coach Beatles earlier this week and just how young this team is. They're starting 3 freshmen. They're probably the youngest starting team possibly in the entire NAIA due to injuries and things like that. So they're starting to kind of come together as a squad. And again, they had some big wins this week, had a very close game against the number 1 team in the conference, Wiley, only lost by 11 points. So we might be seeing some traction finally with the Lady Lions here.
Bacone comes into this game at 3-10, and again in that 8th spot. The ladies at, check that, 3-9. Ladies at 3-10. So a win today would essentially force a tie, but the tiebreaker kicks in. SAGU takes over the 8th spot. So Coach Beadle says this season's not over yet. They have something to play for today.
Yeah, definitely not. I kind of felt like that maybe a few weeks ago, sitting there with just 1 win, maybe feeling like it's just one of those rebuilding years. But while it is a building year, that is what this is, a building year. You're establishing new talent, but at the very same time, you still have playoffs to contend for. This is your last year in the Red River Conference. You want to make that tournament one more time. They've made it for about 5 or 6 years in a row now, so obviously that is the goal. Make it back into the tournament that you host here in SAGU.
Well, standing by, our courtside reporter, Bianca Arlacone, has head coach Arlen Beatles right before the game. Bianca, go ahead.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with head coach for the Lady Lions basketball team, Arlen Beatles. Now, Coach, tonight's a very important game. Currently, we're trailing 8th place to Bacone in the Red River Athletic Conference. How important is tonight's game to you?
Well, it is a big ball game for us. They're a half a game ahead of us, so we're tied in the loss column. So it's a big game for us. If we win this ball game, we move into 8th place, which gets you in the playoffs. And as you know, basketball is a tournament game. Once you get there, anything can happen. Yeah.
Now, a commonality among the Warriors and the Lady Lions is that both teams have fairly young players, with underclassmen getting a lot of the playing time this year. How does that affect the strategy for tonight's game?
Well, we've just been improving quite a bit. Our team actually is probably the youngest team in the Red River. We start 3 freshmen, a sophomore, and 1 junior. So we're really very young, and sometimes we make turnovers because of that, but they're really playing together. I think we've been on the road. See, we played, 5 games in a row on the road? And during that 5-game stretch, we've played very well. So I'm excited about tonight's game.
Thanks so much, Coach, and good luck in tonight's game.
Okay, thank you very much. This is a special game because it's coaches versus cancer. Okay.
Rob and Tim, back to you.
Thanks, Bianca. Thanks, Coach. It is a special day, Tim, coaches versus cancer. We'll hear more about that later on the broadcast. A real quick break. We'll be right back here at SAGU Sports Live. Stay tuned. We're just tip-off just about 5 minutes away. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Schaefer Center here, just about 6 minutes away from tip-off. And Tim, some of the key players for SAGU, they're all going to be young, as we talked about. 3 freshmen beginning the game and a sophomore and a junior. Some key players to watch out for tonight. Jessica Sodich, the sophomore, the volleyball player as well, playing really good basketball. She's averaging 6.3 points a game and really hitting the rebounds hard as well, 4.6 rebounds a game, and she is improving with every game. Coach loves her style of play. Number 2, Taylor Hill, the guard, playing real good. She packing the stats, if you will, 10.9 a game, 2.6 assists a game, so she's right there. And then let's talk about Bethany Kroc, the freshman. I asked Coach, why is she now in your radar? She said, well, she's hard-nosed, and he means that literally. She's broken her nose 5 times, I think this season, he said. And so they just cracked that thing back in place, and loves her defense. She's a guard, and she has earned that starting spot the last 2 games, a loss to Texas College, a win against Wiley. Check that, a win against Texas College, a loss against Wiley. That would be great to beat against Wiley. But Kroc should have a great breakout game as well today. Day team.
Yeah, she was one of those players looking at early on, maybe one of those young developing players. Well, they're all young developing players. All three of those key players, none of them were on the court last year. And with Croc being a hard-nosed player, that's what you need right now. You need somebody who's going to be able to fight to the end and just, helps scrap this team into the playoffs. As Coach is saying, it's a tournament game. 8 versus 1 happens sometimes, so you just got to keep on fighting for it.
Your other starters, Cassie Cox as well as Sierra Hankins, running up the starting 5.
And they're more your veteran players who you're going to look forward to really try to, pull these youngsters along. Bacone's key players of the game, Emily Lavelle, she leads the team with 8.2 points per game. Kyna Lewis, number 15 in the NAIA with rebounds per game. That's 9.75. She's also second in scoring on the team with 7.4. Ashley Jenkins is the third player rounding that out. She's not very high in the overall stat sheet, but the last time these two teams met, which was a 7-57 win for the Lady Warriors, Ashley Jenkins had a double-double, 11 points, 12 rebounds. So she had her best game of the year against SAGU last time. Sometimes a player can just have their opponent's number, so we'll see if that might be the case with Ashley Jenkins. Well, we're just about 3 minutes away, and again, as we mentioned, this game is huge for the Red River Conference standings as for the Lady Lions. They're number 9 right now, just 1 game behind Bacone, or half a game rather behind Bacone, a win, up in the 8th spot. You look at the top teams though, and you see why this is such a tough conference.
Top 3 really separate themselves from the bottom 5.
It's huge. There's such a big, just diversity right there. You see the Saints, 12-1 in the conference. Wiley, 12-1. LSU Shreveport, 11-2. People often wonder, how do so many teams with losing records in the conference, how does SAGU have that, chance to make the tournament with a losing record? Well, it's because those top 3 teams are dominant. The Saints, the Wildcats, and the Lady Pilots are very good teams. They eat up all the wins. It's hard to find a way. So really, the top 3, really the top 4, when you include the Lady Rams coming out of Texas Wesleyan, are all just very, very good squads. And so that's what you have to overcome, is playing those teams. SAGU's got to find a way to beat these smaller teams, the teams that they have a chance to beat, and there'll be more games like that coming up. So we'll see if SAGU can find their way into that 8th spot, see if they can be playing a little bit of extra basketball here in the Schaefer Center come early March.
And just like Coach was telling Bianca, it's a tournament game. Anything can happen. You have to play the game. So it could be a long shot, but that 8th seed has beat number 1 seeds before in tournaments. It can happen. So
it's happened on this floor before with an 8th seed beating a number 1. It's how the men made the tournament a few years ago. They were a 7 seed, beat the 2 seed, beat the 1 seed, and made the tournament by default for that reason. So just a very interesting thing. Well, we're just about a minute and a half away from tip-off now. We're going to go a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll have the national anthem and starting lineups here on SAGU Sports Live.
we are under a minute till the national anthem and announcement of starting lineups here at the Schaefer Center. One side note, Tim, Coach Beatles did tell me that Kiwi Bratchett will not be available for today's game. She's out on some family business, so we'll miss her in the action today, but we'll hopefully see her again soon in the next game or two. And you talk about the defense. This team held Wiley to 61 points. Wiley averages 83, and you mentioned Wiley, one of the top teams in our conference. So they did lose by 11, but that tells you that they're holding the opponents now at 22 points below their average.
All right, we're going to go to the court now and the national anthem.
And face the flag as we honor our nation with the singing of the national anthem by Mark Jones, who is a parent of SAGU alumni Chelsea Jones. Father, we thank you for this day. Lord, we thank you for protecting us, getting us here safely. God, it's a special day for us, and you know it. Lord, you know what's going on in our lives today. Father, as we try to fight the disease of cancer, Lord, may you give peace to the families. Most importantly, Lord, we ask also for the players that you protect them from injury and the officials as well. Father, we love you and we praise you, and may we glorify you, and it's in Jesus' name, amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the rampart we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, sir.
Amen, brother.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, time for the starting lineups for the Lady Warriors. At forward, junior, number 3, Ashley Jenkins. At guard, junior, number 11, Destiny Duncan. At forward, junior, number 13, Mariah Hadnot. At guard, freshman, number 14, Jasmine Robinson. And at center, senior, number 23, Emily Lavelle. Head coach is Robbie Shea. And now the starting lineups for your Southwestern Lady Lions. At point guard, standing at 5'6", freshman from Waxahachie, Texas, number 13, Taylor Hill. At guard, standing at 5'6", freshman from San Antonio, Texas, number 22, Bethany Krog. At forward, standing at 5'8", freshman from Arlington, Texas, number 23, Jessica Sodich. At forward, standing at 5'11", junior from Welch, Oklahoma, number 30, Sierra Hankins. And at center, standing at 6'1", sophomore from Lufkin, Texas, number 33, Cassie Cox. Head coach is Arlen Beatles, assisted by Corey Henry.
All right, Tim, it's time to tip it off here. There's your starting lineups. Again, 3 freshmen, 2 sophomores, 1 junior, Sierra Hankins, leading the way as far as upperclassmen go. And the 2 sophomores, also 2 outstanding volleyball players for head coach Hank Moore.
Yeah, you got Cassie Cox and Jessica Sodich. If you were tuning in the fall for the Lady Lions volleyball season, you know that they were 2 of the dominant players on the court, this very court. So let's see if they can kind of turn things around and drive another team to a River Conference tournament. Very versatile athletes. You know, obviously, luckily, volleyball and basketball do have some similarities. Height is an advantage, jumping's an advantage. But when it comes down to passing and the finesse, it's very different. So you have to be very versatile.
And Bacone will take the tip from Emily LeBeau. And we are into action. Bacone College dressed in red, your SAGU Lady Lions in white, purple stripes. Lady Lions showing a zone defense. Shot, offensive rebound by the Lions.
Good.
Now mid-range jumper, no good. Rebound taken out by Croc.
Taylor Hill brings it up. She's been the Lady Lions' leading scorer, stepping in for Nia Winston, who went out with a season-ending injury earlier on this year. That's just a big loss. Nia Winston was a huge offensive firepower last year. But Taylor Hill stepping up as a freshman.
Lady Lions do average 59 points a game, giving up 64 a game. Here's a missed shot.
And that was blocked by number 23, Emily Lavelle. We mentioned her. She's the leading scorer for the Lady Warriors. And right there, she came up with a big block. No score, a minute in.
Looks like the Lady Warriors are just kind of feeling out the Lady Lions zone offense, or zone defense. Here's a missed shot, put back offensive rebound, good. Check that, number 13, Mariah Hadnot. First points of the ball game, 2-0 Warriors.
Position yourself underneath the basket. Just great form. No one had a chance to really get her at that point. She was already boxed out and had a clear path.
Casimir Robinson shadowing Taylor Hill, almost a walk there. Cox, mid-range jumper. Rebound cleared out by Lady Warriors. And here comes Robinson. Gets it inside, now back out. Duncan with the jumper, no good. Duncan tries to track down on rebound. It's going to be out of bounds. Lady Lions will take the ball in the corner. 2-0 early on here. Bacone up 2-0. Just getting underway here at the Schaefer Center. Be sure to check out both this game and the men's game at 5 o'clock today. Two huge games here. Back on SAGU Sports TV. Glad to bring it to you here on SAGU.tv.
It's been too long. Got 3 whole weeks. We came back briefly, had a 3-week break all of a sudden.
I missed you, Tim. I missed you.
Good being back. Croc trying to drive in, shadowed the whole way.
4 in the shot clock. Cox have to put up a pair. Didn't hit any rim, so.
But Croc got the rebound,
Croc
hit the
got the
rim.
rebound. No one else got her missed shot. She puts it in.
She hit that rim before the shot clock went out, so she got the ball back again.
And that's why she's starting this game right there. Heads up, hard-nosed play.
I think the Lady Warriors thought the shot clock had expired and just cleared out.
Exactly.
So Croc with the basket with 17-13 left in the first half. The line's tied up 2-2.
Zone collapses in on number 23, and that push in from Emily Lavelle. Now 4 in the shot clock. Long 3, good!
Destiny Duncan. She's tried a couple from beyond that 3-point arc, knocks one down. Bacone goes up 5-2.
The Lady Lions, at least some of the players, wearing pink socks in honor of Coaches versus Cancer today. Here at the Schaefer
driving.
Another nice inside move from Croc.
Great driving layup by Bethany Croc right there. 4 points already. Making the most of her first home start in the Lady Lions uniform.
Another 3, no good. Rebound.
Sierra Hankins wrangles that one in right before it went out. And the Lady Lions move it back down the court, trailing 5-4.
Here comes Croc again, looking for help. Now Sodich. She'll drive up, block, and a whistle, and a foul. I think she'll go to the line, Tim.
She'll go to the line for 2. 16:05 remaining here in the first half.
The sophomore from Ovilla, Texas, puts the first one in. Knotted here 5-5 early, 4 minutes into the first half. It looks good all the way. Good form. I like her release, Tim. She's got a really nice shooting form. Just good all-around athlete.
Patient at the line. You got to take them when they're free.
Yeah.
Lady Lions up 6-5.
Bacone gets it inside and delivers. That's Emily Lavelle, the 6'10 senior from Quinton, Oklahoma.
5'10.
Did I say 6'10?
You said 6'10.
Wow,
that would
she's
be
not quite that tall.
that would be a dangerous player.
I don't think she'd be playing for Bacone if she was 6'10. With all due respect to Robbie Shea, the head coach, who's one of our former players at SAGU, actually. But yeah, 5'10. Let's check that. That pass almost went over the head of the guard. Now here comes a move inside.
Stolen away by Sodich. Quick grab, and she pushes down the court, and then we'll hold up, set the offense.
Here comes Croc, over to Cox. Off the glass, no, right in there. Nice shot from Cox. Lines up 8-7.
You see Bethany Croc again.
There's a move inside from Lavelle. A whistle and a hold. It's going to be on, looks like, it might be on Hankins. I think she was the closest offender. Now it's going to be on Hankins. Non-shooting foul. The Lady Rose will take the ball out from underneath the Lions basket. Full shot clock. Good ball movement from the Lady Warriors. I like how they are patient on offense. Looking for that spot in the zone. It's a missed shot, scramble for the ball and a whistle.
Foul, I believe,
on Emily Lavelle.
Oh, actually, no, it's against number 13, Mariah Hadnot.
Okay.
Stepping into the game now for the Lady Lions. Number 24, Cordia Harviton.
Sodich, take a breather. 8-7 your score here early on. 5 minutes into game 1 of the doubleheader action here on SAGU TV, brought to you by SAGU Sports Live. And I see Judah has made his way into the stands today. We'll be seeing a lot of him later on in the afternoon. Hank is now looking for help. Loose ball picked up now by Bacone. And a whistle on the shot. She'll go to the line and shoot 2.
Hadnot just picked up the ball after it went through Bratchett's hands. You heard Coach saying in the pregame how, turnovers are going to happen when you have this young team. It's what you have to limit, though. It's how they found themselves in such a big hole against Wiley on Thursday. Was a lot of first half turnovers.
Brittany Griffin checking in for Hankins. She'll assume low post duties. One shot left. First free throw missed. And we're tied at 8-8. Lady Warriors showing a feisty zone defense. Not giving up much. Here's a shot from the outside. Other side's good.
And Kroc is doing such a good job.
Great assist.
Threads inside, flips it. She's had a couple of great assists.
To Cordia Harviton, who just checked into the game. I tell you what, it's good to come into the game. You're there maybe 20 seconds on the court of clock time, and you already have 2 points. That's a good sign for Harviton.
We're getting some scoreboard checking down here. There was some malfunction with the scoreboard. Currently reading different than what we're showing. And it is now 10-9 officially on the scoreboard here in the Schaefer Center. If you followed SAGU basketball at all, you know that there is nothing more cantankerous than the scoreboard system here in the Schaefer Center. It just does not want to work well sometimes.
We're taking donations for a new one.
So it is now 10-9 Lions in the Schaefer Center as well as in real life.
Cannell swings it back over to Hadnot. Back to Cannell. She looks inside. Dishes off to Emily Lavelle again and puts it in. Lady Warriors now up 11-10. Hill. And it's going to be a whistle, and it looks like Kroc stepped on the line as the defense pushed her clear out to the edge of what's allowed in the game of basketball, and that's a turnover. Coach mentioned that he expected turnovers to decrease, but still realized they're out there for the taking with a young team like the Lady Lions. That has been some of their Achilles heel this year, team has been the turnovers.
They get the rebound there, though, trailing by 1. They don't let the turnover turn into points. Griffin with the fake and sinks it.
Griffin. An assist from who else? Kroc.
Lions now up 12-11 with 13-14 left in the first half.
A long 3 ball, and it's stolen underneath. Now lays it up and in. It's good, and a whistle.
Cordia Harviton with another turnover, and unfortunately fouls the player going up for the basket.
Mariah Hadnot took the feed from Shea Nobby, who stole that rebound possession from the Lions.
And it gives the Lady Warriors a chance at a 3-point play. Just over 13 minutes remaining.
That's good, 14-12. Checking out of the game now is number 20 for the Lady Lions, Andrea Lugo, wearing pink socks and pink shoes to match. There's a pass inside now to Hill. Over to Griffin. Good again. That's her spot. It's 2 in a row for Griffin, almost at the exact same location on the board, on the boards of the floor. Now a whistle.
Griffin just is feeling it right now. She's not known as a big scorer by any means for the Lady Lions, but has knocked down 3 very clean shots in this game so far.
2 sisters in the game for the Lady Warriors, both Emily Lavelle and Casey Lavelle. There's now 8 on the shot clock. They have to put something up. Here's a 3 ball, short, rebound, offensive rebound, up and in.
That's Mariah Hadnot again. She is doing a great job with the rebounding underneath. Oh, almost lost.
Go again, get away, get away.
Lugo looking for help. Hands off to Hill.
Gotta drive deep.
Cracks the zone. Mid-range jumper. Nice offensive rebound from Cox. Will reset. Pretty much a free throw shot. No good. Cox with her own rebound. A whistle.
It's
They're
going
going
to
to call it on Cox.
push on Cassie Cox.
Like that aggressive action in the paint, though, Tim. She has got active feet today and active hands, going for loose balls, grabbing rebounds. Just a little too much exuberance on that one, a little over the top. And Cassie Cox called for the foul. That's her first.
Second.
Second. We're checking her second foul already.
Second foul.
Look for her to come out in just a few minutes. I don't think she'll be in much longer in the next few minutes.
Lady Lions trailing by 2 now with 11:40 left in the first half.
And here comes Hankins to set the check back in for Cox. And Cox with the rebound again. She doesn't want to come out. And now Bacone's gone to, looks like a man defense. Now here's Cox, short mid-range jumper, no good. Rebound out to Bacone. Casey Lavelle, 21. Emily Lavelle, number 23 in the game. And Emily loses that ball, but did it go off a Lady Lion leg?
It went off a leg. Cassie Cox was attempting to knock it back into play, but could not get it before it rolled out. So Bacone retains possession, gets a fresh shot clock, up by 2. Right around 11 minutes remaining here in the first half. And see here, Hankins does step in for Cassie Cox. Don't want to put any one of your best players in foul trouble early on. That's for
It's a
certain.
3 ball in the corner, no good. Nice rebound from, I think that was Harberton.
Harberton,
Yes,
and she was double teamed. Hadnot and Lavelle were on her tight. It's not what you want to see. You don't want to see a 2-on-1 advantage for the offense on the offensive rebound, but
How about
Harberton
Griffin
found a
again?
way.
How about Griffin again? She stepped on the line. Sure did. Whistle blows. She was trying to make a baseline move. She almost let that jumper fly, but felt the defense was just a bit too close. Went baseline, and a toe hit the out-of-bounds line. So, but you love that aggression from the non-starter, getting the most of her playing time right now, Tim.
She's filling in very well. We really saw her start to emerge in the last few games last year. Started showing some real potential, and so far in this game has not disappointed. Another 3-pointer from Bacone.
Well, Lady Lions showing a 2-3 zone. You're going to get a lot of shots at 3-point baskets. That went off the mark, and Lugo brings the ball down the court. A little pressure applied from Destiny Duncan. That just leaves 15, 16 seconds on the shot clock. Not much time to work. Here's a pass inside to Hankins. Spin, turn around, off the glass, no good. Hankins not happy about that one. She screams down the court, upset with herself. On the other end, here come the Lady Warriors. A rebound, no good. Hankins clears out for the Lady Lions. How about Hill from 3? Hankins offensive rebound.
Griffin wisely gets it out to Lugo to reset the
Griffin's
play.
playing scrappy.
Hill boxed up, just kind of
Loose
gets
ball.
it out.
Come get it. Come on.
That one was lucky that it found its way to
Yeah,
Harvardson.
the
Griffin.
ball is just kind of all over the place right now. They need to get something going. Here's Lugo. Now Griffin. In and out. With about 6 seconds on the shot clock. Had a little time to work with, but a good open shot missed by Griffin. Oh, a block from Hankins. Puts Lavelle to the ground, and now a fast break the other way. Lugo over to Griffin. No whistle. Where's the whistle? Reset, a 3-ball. Good!
Foot was on the line. It'll be 2, but
Is it
score is
2?
16 all.
Foot was just on the line. Check that, 2 points. I wanted it to be 3.
Harvardson nails it as the Lions recover off of the fast break miss.
Lavelle for 3. She sinks it. And a timeout from head coach Arlen Beatles as they trail by 3, 19-16, and this game now beginning to pick up some speed, Tim.
It really is. It felt like at first very typical, what you'll see a lot of times when the teams are very familiar with each other, just kind of filling out where's the weaknesses now, what's changed since we saw each other about a month and a half ago. And now it's really starting to pick up. The Lions getting some really good looks. I like the way the Lions offense is clicking.
Robbie Shea, a 10th year. You see him there, 10th year as the head coach for the Lady Warriors, and we'll hear more about him later on. He played at SAGU back in the day, as they like to say. And Tim, you have an interesting stat about Robbie Shea.
Robbie Shea, he didn't just play at SAGU. He's a minor SAGU Lion legend. He owns the record for most points scored in a game. In November of 1997, Robbie Shea put up 50. And that is a total that has not been touched since then. I know we've had some great scorers in the years since then, but no one has come all the way to 50. So 15 years later, Robbie Shea is still the single game scoring leader in SAGU Lion history, and now on a regular basis has been coaching Bacone against his former school.
And back then, they played at the Claxton Gymnasium, just a few yards away from here at the Schaefer Center that lies now. Harvardson puts one in and pulls the Lady Lions to within 1.
The old Claxton Gymnasium, one of the only gyms you ever play in that has stained glass windows.
It's sanctified basketball. There's a shot, an offensive rebound, and the Lady Warriors swinging that ball around, looking for that spot in the zone. Here's a whistle. Offensive foul call on our,
I believe it's on Ashley Jenkins. Ashley Jenkins is called with the foul. Relatively foul-free ball so far. That's just the 3rd on the Warriors.
push off.
And just 4 fouls on the Lady Lions, so not the team in foul
No
trouble,
whistle
really.
there? Yeah, there's the whistle.
Blocking
Yeah,
foul
she wasn't
on
set.
Destiny Duncan.
Your feet aren't set, they're going to call that when you try to put pressure on the ball in the front court. They're going to get the whistle every time. If you're not set, don't even go there. You got to have quick feet to try to take that ball at the collegiate level. Now Bacone back to his zone. Here's a three ball in and out, no good. Rebound cleared by Bacone. And Casey Lavelle elects to circle it back out and reset the offense. There's a shot from the corner. It's good. And that's number 33, Bree Byers, gets on the scoreboard. And 21-18 now your score. Croc resets to Lugo. You'll need to move more against this zone, Tim. You got to have a lot more movement through the paint, looking for those open lanes to beat this 2-3 zone defense, and you just can't stand around.
Loose ball, it'll go off on the Lady Lions.
Unless you're content to shoot 3-pointers, which I'm not sure any coach wants every shot to be a 3-point shot, but got to have some movement through that zone. There's always about 2 or 3 weak spots in any zone defense, depending upon if it's a 2-3 or a 2-1-2 or a 1-2-2. Sometimes it's at the top near the elbow, sometimes it's just above the low post. And the Lady Lions have got to figure out those soft spots and exploit them in a hurry.
That's a timeout by Bacone. Be sure and like us on Facebook. It's where you have to be. If you're going to be a fan of SAGU Sports Live, you got to fan us on Facebook.
I go out
highlights.
there every day myself to see what you come up with next. I'm a fan of my SAGU Sports Live friends.
You got to check it out. You got highlights after each and every game, all the latest news, scores. That's what try to get you is the scores. And obviously, with all the away games recently, it's hard to get the scores in. But with our vast array of internet reach and contacts, we try to get you the scores to be very first, so you don't have to wait till the next morning for them.
I have been at home, and I get this post from SAGU Sports Live. It says like 7 minutes ago, and there's an update from you, my broadcast partner, with a brief description of how the Lions there's a 3 from Bacone. That's Shea Nobby. And you're giving an update within minutes of a road game. And we appreciate that here at SAGU.
We want to keep everybody updated, especially with a season like this where the men are having a very historic season as the Lady Lions turn it over. And that's what we can try to keep track of is where the Lady Lions are, or the Lions, that is, are in the polls. That's, updating every single Tuesday.
They climbed up to number 16 and looking to go higher with the next week's ratings out any day now.
Bacone ahead 24-18. Just under 6 minutes remaining here in the first half.
Let's see if
oh, and just a bad look.
Like Hankins thought that Griffin was going to pop out from the wing. She stayed in the wing, and then ball had nowhere to go. Turnover, Lady Lions.
Couple of bad passes in a row now. Not giving you a chance to get a shot, which is really not good for the Lady Lions because they've been shooting really well this game, better than they usually do. Finding a lot of good looks as that ball's going to stay with Bacone. It always hurts when you limit your shooting at how many shots you get to take, but especially when you're shooting at better than you usually are.
Right.
You're taking away shots on a day where your players are better from percentages than they usually are.
Exactly. Here's another 3 ball from Bacone. Interesting release, like a one-footed release.
It's a foul on Bree Byers. SAGU will bring the ball out.
And Bacone's going to bring the pressure, full court pressure.
Well, they've brought it a few times in a row now, and it's resulted in SAGU turnovers, so no reason to change your tactic when it's working.
I'd like to see Kroc get going again. She's been a spark plug for this team. Let's see if we can get on the board here. She's got the ball now. She fakes, she dribbles, she drives. Back out to Hankins. Can't handle it, but it falls in Taylor Hill's hands. Her three-pointer no good. The rebound, Lady Warriors.
Shea Nobby avoids the walk just barely. Gets the ball down the court. Warriors have led by 6 for a few possessions
Skip
now.
pass. And now a steal for the Lady Lions, and they're going to, well, they slowed down there. I thought they were going to push the ball. Swing over to Soda. It's big 3. Hankins, offensive rebound. Muscles her way in, and she muscles her way in a bit too much for the liking of the referee. That's a whistle, a charge called on Hankins. And that's going to be her, I think it's her first foul.
But it'll be
They don't have her listed as any fouls yet, so she should be okay.
And that'll be the 5th on the Lady Lions. So with about 4.5 minutes left, both teams approaching the bonus, each with 5 fouls.
Robinson, there's another 3-pointer. Too deep and a whistle, and she's going to go to the line and shoot 3.
Actually, I believe.
Well, did they call it on the floor?
We're seeing the clock right now. It's after the shot. So the Lady Lions dodged that bullet. It was a foul, but it was not in the act of shooting.
It looked like it was, but just after she landed, she was fouled. So not in the act of shooting once your feet hit the ground.
Which is good, because that would have been 3 free throws for the Lady Warriors.
And there's a steal from Kroc. And she lays it up and in. Cuts the lead to 4.
Kroc
Good anticipation, Tim.
Yeah, reemerges in a big way right there. Lady Lions needed that. They've been held off the board for a while. Cut the lead back down to 4.
And now the Lions picking up their defensive intensity.
Ball's off of the referee.
It's a loose ball off noses, off foreheads, and Bacone will recover. Now 8 on the shot clock, and loose ball again. Lions have it. Here comes Kroc. She's got 2. She looks right. Hill resets. Griffin back out to Sodich, to Hill. She looked at it. How about Griffin from the free throw line? Good, count it. Griffin having maybe her game of the season, and we're not even done with the first half yet, Tim.
She is shooting very
Another
well.
steal.
Griffin bats it
by
away.
Griffin.
Here comes Sodich.
And here comes Sodich. She spins around. She's got Hill. Stops and pops. It whistle.
Foul will be in the act of shooting, so Hill will go to the line. The Lady Lions forcing turnovers, getting some big steals, and Taylor Hill will go to the line looking to tie this game up. Just under 3 minutes remaining. 2:58 on the clock.
Bethany Griffin, the 5'11 sophomore from Brittany Griffin, the sophomore from Rockwall, Texas, making the most of her first half opportunities. She's got 7 points already.
First shot is good.
Hill looking to tie. That free throw, no good. The Lady Warriors maintain a 1-point lead. We're now under 3 minutes in the first half.
Croc
There's a
again.
Steal from Croc. She's got Hill on the left. She feeds it to her, up and in, whistle, and she's gonna call travel. Called for a travel, and I think she did. She did. She juggled that ball as the feed came in from Croc.
Croc with another big steal. That'll be a full timeout by Bacone.
Beadle's not happy with that. He thinks that was a bad call, and you can argue both ways. It looks like she didn't quite have possession of the ball. She juggled it, but you know what? If you're Coach Beadles, you have to support your teammates.
Especially in that situation, you have a chance to take the lead again, and you lose a big slate of momentum. Bethany Croc with another big steal, making the most of her start here at home. Really, right now, Croc and Griffin are playing again. For most of us, we have never really got to see them play very much.
Right.
They've really emerged on this recent road trip. So for their home debut, their debut for the Lions crowd, looking very good.
I'd like to welcome all of our viewers watching from Muskogee, Oklahoma, or there nearabouts, the home of Bacone College. We're glad you're watching your Lady Warriors and hopefully your Warriors here on the SAGU Sports Network. Glad to have you aboard this afternoon.
Lady Warriors check back in and get the ball out quickly. Under 3 minutes left, holding a 1-point lead in what has been a sometimes sloppy but generally fast-paced first half.
Had not gives it away. Sodich out to Croc. That a way to fight that red zone. Now they're going to be another whistle. And a travel from Griffin, who was in the right spot of the zone, just near that high elbow on a 2-3, just below the high elbow. Got the ball, spun, turned, but dragged her foot, whistled for the travel. I like how they're attacking that zone now, Tim.
They seem to have found their way through it for a while. It's been very hard.
A block from Hankins. Return to sender.
Ball's going to stay with Bacone as the Lions trap Hadnot on the inside.
Destiny Duncan checks back in for Kayla Denton. Duncan, a 5'8" junior from Rancho Cucamonga, California. And yes, I said that right because one of my former students, Danielle Chambers, is from Rancho Cucamonga, California.
And I wouldn't have believed it was a real place if I hadn't have seen it in print.
And she was one of your fellow students for several years. So
Hill out to Sodich.
Sodich, mid-range, it finds the middle of the cylinder and drops in for two, and the Lions take the lead 25-24. I think it's their first lead of the game.
No,
Tim.
they've led
since 2 or 3 out.
They've led earlier, but they were down 8. This is a 9-0 run for the Lady Lions right now. Bacone's shooting has gone cold.
No whistle. No whistle. Gabriella Cannell's looking for the whistle, pointing at Hankins, but didn't get the help from the referee, and that's a turnover from Bacone.
So now the Lions on a 9-0 run. with just over a minute left in the first half, look to really end on a positive note. No look pass by Croc.
How about that? How about that? And a whistle, a foul, and a fist pump from Griffin.
Croc to Griffin. It's how they've really hung in this game the first half, and works out great there. Griffin goes to the line trying to complete the three-point play. Lions up by 3 now.
11-0 run, Tim, to end the first half. Let's make it 12. No good. Emily unable to handle that ball.
Almost another
Still loose
turnover.
ball.
And it is a turnover finally. The Lady Lions come up with it. Lady Lions defense suddenly swarming over the Lady Warriors, not allowing them to even get a look. Off of a Lady Warrior, Croc faked the shot and then tried to dish it off to Griffin. It goes off of Destiny Duncan.
If you're Coach Beatles, you have to love the play of Griffin and Croc so far in this first half. Some new faces, new names, getting some significant minutes here. And on cue, there's a three ball that's good from Croc.
And the Lions are up by 6. Bacone will hold for last shot, I believe, as we are under 20 seconds remaining.
Whistle, that's going to be a foul.
It's a jump ball. Jump ball, and the Lions get possession. No foul. Lions force the jump ball, so the Lions will get a chance for last shot.
And that goes as a turnover in the books, Tim.
So the Lions up by 6. Need to get it down the court quickly.
With about 6 seconds left in the first half, Hill may take it all the way. She pops from the free throw line, and she trickles it in as time expires in the first half. And your Lady Lions jump out after being down 8, are now up by 8, 32-24 on a check that, a 16-point run, 16-0 to close out the first half.
That is very impressive. We have not seen the Lady Lions operate like that offensively all season. It is happening at the right time right now. As again, it was looking not necessarily dire, but it was looking frustrating for a while. They're down by 8, unable to really get anything going. And all of a sudden, just turn it around. The shooting starts clicking. The defense just locks down, starts forcing turnover after turnover. And you're up by 8, 16 points in a row.
Brittany Griffin hits a couple of key jumpers, some mid-range jumpers from the baseline, and that just kind of sparked the whole team. So we're at halftime here at the Schaefer Center as you see both men's squads get some early work in, and we'll be right back after this quick commercial break here on SAGU Sports Live. And welcome back to the Schaefer Center. We're at halftime here as the Lady Lions have jumped out to an 8-point advantage after being down 8. A 16-0 run, now 32-24, and standing by now with our courtside reporter Bianca Arlacone is first assistant coach Corey Henry. Bianca, go ahead.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with assistant coach, Coach Corey Henry. Now, Coach Henry, we're leading right now 32-24. Evaluate the first half for us against Bacone.
Well, I thought offensively we did a great job, very efficient on the offensive side of the ball. Defensively, got some stops that we needed, and the girls just playing great. A couple of girls have really stepped up, made some great passes, great shots, just doing really, really good offensively.
And what do we need to do in the second half to keep up the lead, take the win home tonight against Bacone? Big game.
Well, you always start with defense. Defensively, we've got to continue to play hard. We've got to continue to get stops, and we just got to execute on offense. Doing a great job tonight offensively again, and defensively, we just got to keep after it.
Thanks so much, Coach, and good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Rob and Tim, back to you.
Thank you very much, Miss Bianca, and we'll be right back after this quick break with some first half stats here at the Schaefer Center. Your Lady Lions up 32-24. Stay tuned here on SAGU Sports Live. Lady Lions up 32-24 here at halftime, and the stats are bearing out that the Lions should have about that advantage. And Tim, I mean, you look at this score, you don't expect one thing, that's for sure. The stat that shows Brittany Griffin with 10 points leading the way for the Lady Lions off the bench. Bethany Croc chipping in 9 points, 3 assists, a couple turnovers, and 2 steals. Also 2 steals for Jessica Sodich and Brittany Griffin. So some pretty frisky hands out there right now for the Lady Lions.
Yeah, they're doing a great job just getting the ball away. Look at some big stats right there. The Bacone, 3 for 18 beyond three-point range. They've really been trying to connect from there, but it's only hurt them. They're shooting 16%. That's how they got their lead, was hitting a couple of clutch three-pointers, but then that's how they got the Lady Lions back in the game. Lady Lions shooting 48% in the first half. That's great.
That is the reason you're up 8 right there.
And the Lady Lions have taken the advantage on offensive rebounds. Earlier on, it was really the Lady Warriors owning the offensive boards. Lady Lions 6-4. Teams have a block apiece. Lady Warriors 1 more turnover. Free throws barely a factor at all in this game. But yeah, you look at, again, the big names for this game at the moment. Brittany Griffin and Bethany Crock, 2 players we're not used to seeing. Bethany Crock, 9 points, 3 assists, 2 steals. And then, he said the 10 points from Brittany Griffin is perhaps the most surprising statistic. We're not used to her being the big scorer. Sierra Hankins leads the team with 6 rebounds. Cordia Harberton has 4. And Taylor Hill just has 3 points. So your scoring leader only with 3 points on the game. But she's found a way, the team has found a way to move on without her.
And the Lions have shut out Emily Lavelle, the senior center, the starting senior center for the Lady Warriors. Not a single point kept her off the board. Mariah Hadnot does lead the way for the Lady Warriors with 6 points and with 1 steal. Oh, check that, 9 points and 1 steal on the day. Well, we now have Bianca Alarcon standing by with a very special guest, someone I've known back from my days. And Bianca, welcome back a very special friend to the SAGU family.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with former athletic director and men's coach for the SAGU team, Steve Garippa. Now, Steve led us to our first national championship in 1998 with no scholarships. Steve, tell us a little bit about that magical year and your connection with Robbie Shea, the head coach for the Bacone women's team.
Well, Robbie had played for me the year prior, and he was a shooter. And he had a lot of good knowledge that we made good use of in that following year, 1998. In 1998, we were admitted to the playoffs and just won all the way up through. There were some games that were just, the stands were packed, and it was quite an exciting time for everybody involved.
And you mentioned earlier when we talked that in 1991 there was only 2 sports teams here. It was men's basketball and women's volleyball. What other changes have you seen coming into the year 2013 compared to the 90s here at SAGU?
Just tremendous changes since that time. Of course, football and soccer for men, soccer for women has come on. Baseball was an addition. I saw that during my time as athletic director here. This administration right now, under President Bridges, has done phenomenal things to develop the facilities and the scholarshiping, and I'm very happy and proud about that for their sake.
Well, thanks so much for being with us here today, Steve.
You're very welcome. It's been my pleasure.
Rob and Tim, back to you.
Thank you, Bianca. And just on a personal note, it's so good to see Steve again. Steve Garippa, Tim, let me house sit for him. My wife and I house sit for him. He's from New York. He would leave during the summers, as you heard, he coached and taught, and he let us house sit for him in Waxahachie. And he also let me be an unofficial assistant coach back in 1993-94 for the Lions. And just a great guy, great basketball mind, loves the Lord. And a very kind, gracious man. I'm so glad to see 4 years later after I had left that he won a national championship with that team with Robbie Shea. So good to see Steve back in town.
Yeah, always good to see some familiar faces, and really as the program starts to build a legacy, and that's what they're trying to do this year is really pave another stone. And it's still a very young school, a lot of young sports programs, and as Bianca said, no scholarships back then, and scholarships can still be an issue sometimes for the team, but they find a way to overcome and play at a level that you wouldn't expect, honestly, with some of the funding that they get, as though the school officer tries to fund them as best they can. But you don't really appreciate sometimes how hard these teams have to play going up against these bigger schools, bigger budgets, but it comes down to heart. And obviously the team in '98 had heart, and what we're seeing right now is that our men's team this year has an incredible amount of heart. And in the first half, the Lady Lions had some heart, scrapping their way back in, ending on a 14-0 run and holding an 8-point lead now as we're just about 6 minutes away to start the second half.
And we'll be right back after this quick commercial break on SAGU Sports Live as your Lady Lions up by 8 at halftime. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Schaefer Center. We're under 5 minutes left till the beginning of the second half as Lady Lions find themselves up by 8, 32-24 your score against the Bacone Lady Warriors. And Tim, we talked about earlier, let's dive into more. A very special day here at the Schaefer Center. Something called Coaches versus Cancer. Tell us more about what this special day means, specifically with our ball club here.
Well, Coaches versus Cancer is a national initiative, obviously, for the National Coaches Association to really just, make a stand. It's not any particular kind of cancer. It's just an overall thing, partnering with the American Cancer Society to raise money, to give to cancer research, cancer treatment. And it's really big this year. If you haven't been around SAGU, one of our own, David Bush, is currently in a very difficult fight with cancer. He's down in Houston receiving treatment right now. There's actually going to be a very special video information about that at halftime of the men's game. So we do encourage you, obviously stay tuned to watch the men's game because it's going to be a blast, but also stay tuned for halftime of the men's game for this video. Really get some of the backstory of this school's heart. And really right now it's heart to fight against cancer. Obviously Coach Boswick, his father died just a few years ago of cancer, and Coach Beatles, well, you'll hear his story about his personal fight with cancer and his life and his family's life. Just very, very emotional stuff. But again, just the drive of these coaches and these teams to take a stand for someone who's not a member of the athletic department, not connected any more than anyone else that just comes to the games, just a member of the IT department. But here at SAGU, we feel a special bond in this close-knit campus family. And so be sure to stick around at halftime for more information about that. We'll have a on-court moment with Coach Beatles leading, explaining the backstory behind Coaches versus Cancer. We'll be doing a full fundraiser. It'll actually be going through April now, I believe. And you can actually go to SAGU's website, sagu.edu, click on the Coaches versus Cancer story and donate if you feel like it. And if you see there at the front, pink buckets lining the front, so there'll be donations taken throughout the entire game. So yeah, it's a very special day here for the athletic department, for the SAGU family. So we do encourage you to check that out. And as always, we do encourage you to check out the Facebook page. If you do miss the Coaches versus Cancer piece at halftime, that will be on
SAGU Sports Live Facebook.
SAGU Sports Live Facebook. We'll be sure and upload that by Monday so we can have everyone view that, just really get the backstory of the Coaches versus Cancer fight here at SAGU.
Well, cancer sometimes hits many, many lives, and it's a big day. My own father also lost his battle to cancer back in 2002, so yeah, it's a big day for a lot of us here in the SAGU campus family, and we're so glad that we're honoring that fight and spirit we all have inside of us. So some other side news we just learned before the game, our SAGU baseball team won 8-5 this afternoon, Tim.
Yeah, and that is the second day of action. Action kicked off yesterday. They lost the first half, but they won the second half. They won the second game of the doubleheader in extra innings, actually. A very thrilling play at the plate to win 3-2 to start off their season against Hillsdale. They're playing right now, actually, again. They have another game going out at the SAGU baseball fields here on the campus. So a full day of athletic action. So they won the first game today. Hopefully we'll have an update for you sometime. We'll definitely have an update for you.
We will have an update for you before we go off the air.
Before we go off the air, at the end of the day, we'll know how they did in that second game. And hopefully we'll have a lot of fans coming in from that game, coming in out of the cold. A little bit chilly today, a little bit wet outside, but it doesn't feel like baseball season, but it is. College baseball starts. While the pros don't even bother reporting to pitchers and catchers until February, and even then they're in Florida and Arizona. They kick off baseball season in college in mid to late January, and it can be cold, it can be wet. There can be a lot of rain delays and a lot of rain cancellations, but you play through it. So it's a big year for the SAGU baseball team, hoping to finally try to get over that hump. And obviously for them also, last year playing in the Red River Conference, which is a very difficult conference to play baseball. Some very good teams. Well, we're just about ready to start off the second half. Lady Lions up by 8. They're walking out in the court on a 14-0 run. The Lady Warriors have not scored since 6:37 left in the first half. So they're on a 6.5-minute scoring drought. We'll see how long the Lady Lions can keep that scoring drought going in what is a very critical Red River Conference matchup The winner will, if Bacone wins, they'll remain in 8th place. If SAGU wins for the first time in weeks, they'll find themselves in that 8th spot, which is the final step, that final spot in. And I'm sure we'll have our eyes on that throughout the next few weeks as we'll be covering 8 Lady Lions games.
8 out of the last 10 games we'll be bringing to you here on SAGU Sports Live. There were 9 lead changes in the first half, 5 tie scores, and right now the Lions enjoying their largest lead of the afternoon.
Right off the bat, Cassie Cox with a big steal. She was reading it the whole way, picked it off, and Lady Lions with a chance to increase that lead, 14-0 run. Dishes it inside to Sierra. Wow. That's just fundamental ball play right there. And the Lady Lions go up by 10.
And here's some fundamental defense. No whistle. Now there's a whistle, and they're going to call a foul
On Bacone?
on Bacone.
So the Lady Lions forced the turnover, and that's Destiny Duncan getting called with the hold. So the Lady Lions, 2 forced turnovers.
And who was in there? Hankins, who just scored the 2 off the opening moments of the second half, active on the defensive end as well.
So the Lady Lions with 2 forced turnovers in the first 40 seconds of play here in the first half, up by 10. Corja thinks about the 3.
Working that zone defense. 3-pointer no good. Offensive rebound. Putback no good from Kroc.
She was all alone. Put it up and just found its way off the rim.
Timeout. Robbie Shea wants to talk it over. Just over a minute into the second half, and he sees something he doesn't like. Calls a 30-second timeout.
Well, two quick turnovers and then an easily allowed offensive rebound. That was just a little help from the rim from going in and being a 12-point Lady Lions lead. And the Lady Warriors still have not scored since 6:37 left in the first half.
Might see Shea mix up the defense here. He may go to a man-to-man or maybe a 2-1-2. Maybe that 2-3 is not going to work for him. He doesn't like what he sees for sure in this first minute and 7 seconds. So we'll see how they set up shop on defense here in a moment, as the Lady Warriors will take the ball out underneath the Lions basket. There's almost a steal from Kroc. Reset from Jasmine Robinson. That's a 3. Way off the mark. Loose ball. It's going to stay right here. 14 seconds left on the shot clock.
As we mentioned, that they had some success earlier from beyond 3-point range, but they've gone cold as of late. They're 3 for 20 in the game now. And the Lady Lions are just kind of content with letting them stay out there. Another steal. Kroc slaps it away.
Behind. Here comes Kroc. No whistle. Yeah, there's a whistle. Late whistle. Oh, because they call it on the ground?
You know,
Okay. It was a late whistle, but it was on the shot.
The whistle does come to the shot. Kroc is a little bit slow getting up. She's still down. Possibly a contact lens issue. She's up now, and she'll go to the line for 2.
Hey, she's broke her nose, I think Coach said 5 times. Don't let a contact lens get in her way.
Well, I mean, you can play with a broken nose as long as no one hits it again. If you can't see out of one eye, that does really inhibit your basketball
Of course she
abilities.
can. She can do it all. Look at that. She makes a free throw with one eye. Come on, Tim. You have a little faith.
So she now has 10 points on the game. Lady Lions stretched their lead to 11. And again, another forced turnover.
Nice
Kroc,
form, and she drops both in.
Kroc forced a turnover, really. And the Lady Lions are looking very good. It is now an 18-0 run. And for Bacone, you just got to wonder when you're going to be able to score again.
There's a long 3 off, no good. Offensive rebound, waiting for it all by herself. Weak side was number 33, Bree Byers. And finally, that breaks. There's a whistle from the ref. The shot clock needs to be reset. That breaks 6:37 plus almost 2 minutes, so almost an 8-minute, over an 8-minute drought.
Yeah, well over 8 minutes. So they finally break through that, break the 18-0 run. They still find themselves down 10.
And that was a freebie. It was a cheap bucket too.
Well, there's no such thing as a cheap bucket when you've gone 8 minutes without one. Essentially, it worked out as a very long arching pass.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Hankins now looks for help. She's got Hill. Hill runs on the left side. She's in trouble. Back to Hankins. Shot no good. Rebound Warriors.
Lady Warriors showing a little bit of skip in their step all of a sudden. They finally get the monkey off their back of not being able to score for that long period of time.
There's a steal from Croc, and she's going to go coast to coast and lay it up and in. 38-26.
I did not even see where she came from. She just appeared to the side. She is quick to the ball.
Has she earned a starting spot or what, Tim?
Stolen away by Harvardton. And this Lady Lions defense is just picking the pockets of the Lady Warriors time and again.
Cox sets a pick, gets it back, now back out to Hill. Hill look to get it back into Cox, off her leg, and Bacone will get the ball back. Very active right now offensively. Just a lot of positive things you're seeing on the offensive side for your Lady Lions.
You're seeing a confidence, and I don't think that was there before. You know, when you've lost so many games in a row, you can just go down and you're almost expecting something to go wrong. We saw in that game earlier this year when we were covering with St. Thomas, every time I found out the course, like, oh no, what's going to go wrong? How are we going to turn the ball over? Well, that has not been the case in this one.
There's a 3-ball up and in from Danielle Reed, a senior from Beaumont, California. Cuts the lead to 9.
That's a big shot by Bacone. They finally connect from beyond 3-point range. Just their 4th of the game. With a lot of attempts contributing to those 4.
But there's a mismatch down low. They need to see that. And here's a shot from Cox. A little strong, and there's a mismatch. You've got, looks like Daniel Reed on Hankins. That's a huge mismatch on the other end of the court. We'll see if that happens again.
Another 3.
As a guard, you've got to see that, Tim. You've got to see that mismatch inside. There's a whistle.
Jump ball. And possession will stay with the Lady Warriors.
They got the ball at halftime. Hey, didn't they get the ball at halftime?
Coach Beadle saying that the possession arrow should be pointed the other way. And now a conference at the top of the key will figure out who's on the right side of this possession arrow, because we're 6:14 left in the second half, and the Lady Lions holding a 9-point lead.
And the Lady Lions will get the ball because Bacone did start with possession in the first half. The possession arrow had not been reset, though, since the Lady Lions had the initial jump ball to end the first half. So the Lady Lions have the ball.
There's a long pass down court.
Up 36-29.
Hill handles it. Over to Haverton, left side.
Hankins saves it.
Back out to the corner. Hill's going to reset. There's a new shot clock. We'll take that if you're Lady Lions. Offense, and here comes Hill at the top of the free throw line now. Haverton comes 3. Count it. 41-29, back up to 11. And a travel from Reed.
Lady Warriors just having a hard time getting anything going. They keep on turning the ball over, whether it's a clutch steal by the Lady Lions or an unforced error and a travel right there.
Well, if you're the Lady Lions, you got to look to pound the ball inside. Coach Robbie Shea's got a real short lineup on the court right now. Haverton calling for it the other end. Cassie Cox. Height advantage all around the post play.
And that's not a phrase you'll say very often with the Lady Lions.
Hill on the inside, lays it up and in! Are you kidding me? Little reverse.
Hill's been mostly silent scoring so far today, but she peeks up there. Lady Lions jump up by 14. Hill with a chance to convert the 3-point play. And it's good. Lady Lions are up by 15 points. This game, with 6:37 left in the first half, was 24-18. The Lady Lions could not get anything going. They are on a 25-5 run. Sorry, 26-5 run.
She was in all kinds of traffic and found just a loose spot there underneath the basket. Chose the other side of the rim and laid it up and in. Now here's a missed shot from Bacone and a whistle underneath and a scruff. They're going to call it on the Lady Lions. That's going to be on Harbiton.
Just the Lady Lions' first foul, though. They only committed 6.
And here
in
comes
the first
Brittany
half.
Griffin for Harbiton, and then Sodich will check in for Hankins. So Bacone find themselves down by 15 in a hurry here. 5 minutes into the second half. There's a long 3-ball missed from the corner. Cleared out by Kroc. Hill resets the offense. And Bacone has gone to a full-blooded man-to-man defense to try to stop this SAGU run. And how about this run? Oh, just off the rim. Hill took it all the way into the paint. Had a good look at it, Tim. Just didn't quite fall. 3-ball from Lavelle, no good. Offensive rebound, put back in a block from Cassie, and they're going to call foul.
She got all ball initially. I think the foul might have actually come after the block because the whistle came in late. I think the foul might have been with the loose ball. But it will result in 2 shots. And that is the 4th foul on Cassie Cox. So you'll see Sierra Hankins checking in here now. You don't want to lose Cassie Cox in a game that you've taken a good lead in. You don't want to lose her through the last 15 minutes.
Free throw good. One more coming. Cut the lead to 13, and she does. 44-31 your score. I think it should be 31. Maybe it's 30.
It's 44-31.
There we go.
When in doubt, go with the SAGU Sports Live scoreboard.
Yeah, trust us, trust us, trust us. Hill looking for help. Finds Sodich on the outside.
Stolen away, and that's one of the Lady Lions' first turnovers in the second half. I feel like they've done a very good job of not turning the ball over.
3-ball from Lavelle, good.
Just like that, the Lady Warriors cut the lead right back down to 10.
Casey Lavelle, the younger sister of this senior Emily Lavelle. Casey, a sophomore also from Quinton, Oklahoma, cuts the lead back to 10.
So the Lady Lions allow a 3-pointer there off the turnover. And just like that, the lead is down to 10. Still not, of course, you never want to say comfortably in the lead, but still with a decent lead. But some quick scores by Bacone has put this game back in the very interesting column.
Yeah.
With under 15 minutes remaining.
Okay. Well, they had it up to, what, 15-16 a few moments ago. So 3 balls can put you right back in a game in a big hurry. So game definitely not out of reach, but the Lions just need to keep this pressure. Keep trying to attack that now man defense that the Lady Warriors are throwing at the Lady Lions.
If you can keep forcing turnovers at the rate you have been so far, it's going to be very difficult to allow the Lady Warriors back in this game. The overall scoreboard has just been updated, actually. It appears there was an error. Cassie Cox is now being credited with only 2 fouls. Initially, she was being credited with 4, but somehow 2 had gone in her favor that weren't supposed to. So that definitely changes the nature of this SAGU 10-point lead.
Which raises the question, who gets charged the other 2 fouls? We'll look for that answer. Get back with you.
Lady Warriors
and now
showing a full court
absolutely
press.
They need to get this ball across the court in a big hurry. And they do, just on the 10th second. Get a whistle on a runner from Hill, and she'll go to the line and shoot a couple.
That's what you got to do when Bacone's going to have to turn on the aggressiveness to find their way back in this game. You need to just drive. You need to force them to keep on fouling. You send you to the line, get their foul totals up. That's how you take advantage of a team that's going to start playing very aggressively over the last 13.5 minutes.
And Hill delivers, first of 2. Lead back to 11. And back to 12.
Hill now up to 8 points on the day. Only had 3 at halftime.
Beatles calling for a trap on the outside, and that's exactly what the Lady Lions are doing when they get the ball in the corner. Another 3-ball from Casey Lavelle, no good. And there's going to be a whistle, and it's going to be on Bacone. A reach, trying to take away the rebound from Brittany Griffin, who had secured that ball. More full court pressure. Boy, Hankins, nice little elbow there to clear some space.
Brock circles around, just dares him to follow her with her speed.
And leaves about 15 seconds on the shot clock. So if you're Bacone, you're trying to make SAGU work for every second they have to have that ball on their shot clock rotation. Here comes Sodich for three. Bit short, long rebound. Nice scrappy play from Bethany Kroc as she dives out of bounds.
She saves the ball and gets fouled in the process, so the ball will stay with SAGU up by 12. Possessions always matter.
Let me tell you something. Coaches don't forget those small things like that. There's a reason why she's playing a lot more. Scrappy play like that equals minutes on the court, and then at some point your game just begins to fall into place. Here's a shot from Hankins in the corner. It's good. Count it. Mid-range jumper. Hankins delivers.
The Lady Lions push it back up to a 14-point lead.
This is not even the same ball club we saw 3 weeks ago, Tim. I mean, this is
not
a
even
confident offensive and defensive performance we're seeing here from Southwestern.
They are definitely putting together, I mean, obviously since 6.5 minutes left in the first half, they have put together quite a show. Some of the best basketball we've seen them play in the last 2 seasons. It's possible they found some answers.
Nice inside pass to Sodich. Hankins goes for the offensive rebound, stolen away underneath from Bacone. They'll set up shop. Lavelle for three. No good. Offensive rebound, a whistle.
No shot, foul on the floor, but it's going to be on Jessica Sodich. And it is.
The Lions playing this well still with a win today, assuming they do hold on to the lead, which is never assumable 12 minutes left, but assuming they hold on to the lead, they would still be 4 games out of the 7th place position, which would find you playing, at this point, probably Wiley. So either way, a tough matchup, but hey, if you can jump into the 7th place, that keeps you from playing Our Lady that 1 game longer.
Well, it's going to be tough to find your way in that 7th spot. That spot's held by Langston. The perennial powerhouse of the Red River Conference somehow found themselves towards the bottom of the standings. The battle right now for the Lady Lions, and well, really every other team in the Red River Conference for that 8th spot. There's really going to be 5 teams scrapping it out. Bacone, SAGU, Southwest, Jarvis, and Texas College will all be fighting to the end for that 8th spot. Harvardton almost loses it.
She stops and pops from inside the paint. No good, way off. Rebound cleared by Bacone. And they're going to have to push the ball a little bit now, down 14 with 11.5 left. Need to pick up the pace just a little bit. Here's a 3 ball from Casey Lavelle again. Sends it home for Bacone.
They found a lot more success with the 3-point game here in the second half. They really struggled in the first, but that's what's kept them within striking
Brock
distance.
Finds Griffin, pump fakes, goes in, back out to Hill. And Hill will reset. Kroc now looks in for Hankins over the top. Bad pass. Turnover. Here come the Lady Warriors. Pass inside. A drive inside. A whistle. She'll shoot 2.
Lady Warriors have their chance to cut the lead back down to single digits for the first time in a while.
That's going to be Bree Byers, the 5'10 junior from Anaheim, California, at the charity stripe, trying to cut this lead back to 9. And the first one finds its way into the basket.
Score now 48-38.
And Hankins will take a seat on the bench with that foul. Definitely not out of reach, Tim. 10-point, now a 9-point lead is nothing to sniff at.
Oh no, without
You
question.
got to play ball. with this full court press now.
And it's a travel.
It's a travel right there.
The full court press finally works and forces the travel. Actually, it's going to be charged for a foul. Taylor Hill's being called for a foul, possibly an offensive elbow or something. Thought it was just a travel at first, but it actually counts as a foul, and the Lady Lions commit their 6th. From now on, for both teams, fouls will send you to the line.
Up and in, the senior, the older sister, Emily Lavelle, puts it in, cuts the lead to 7.
And that's a foul on Bacone. That's the 7th foul. And that will send the Lady Lions to the line for the 1-and-1. So after saying we didn't have any foul trouble for either teams, some quick fouls on both sides, and with 10.5 minutes remaining, they'll be going to the line for the rest of the half.
There'll be a lot of stoppage, absolutely. And that's just what Bacone wants. Just what Bacone wants. Lugo puts it in. Pink shoes. And the pink socks helping out on that free throw, no doubt. Second one up, and it's good.
The Lady Lions go back up by 9. Needing to get that defense back where it was a moment ago.
Long three. Long.
Arlington does a good job of boxing out, let the ball just go out of bounds.
Yep.
Lady Lions get possession back.
Destiny Duncan will check back in for the Lady Warriors. Out goes Shea Nabi. Now Lugo trying to beat the press. Out to Cox. Forward to Hill. I like it. Ball's not touching the ground. I like that. That's how you break a press, right there. You find your spots. Don't even bounce the ball. Just hit them on the run with passes. Work your offense. Now Cox over to Hill. Looking for help. Now 10 on the shot clock. Lugo back to Hill. Launches a 3 and gets it.
Taylor Hill mixes it up there, just backs Bacone's defense off just enough with the excellent passing game to get the separation she needs. Drills the 3. Lady Lions back up by 12.
Now here's Lavelle on the inside. A whistle. It's good. Just like that, Bacone punches right back. Looking for a 3-point play the old-fashioned way.
Fouls on Cassie Cox, which is just her 3rd.
We think we're going to say it's her 3rd.
Well, hopefully it's her 3rd.
But we've heard that before.
Hopefully it's her 3rd, or else she just fouled out, because that had been her 5th by the original count.
Hill trying to break the press down the left side. She does. Spins back around, looking for help. She makes a call timeout, and instead,
her pivot
dragged her foot.
Left the ground, took too many steps. She got ahead of her offense, really, on the quick press break. They couldn't catch up to her, so she got trapped inside.
Hill, the 5'6" freshman from right here in Waxahachie. Played her ball at Waxahachie High School. Stayed home and played for the Lions. And now another whistle. It's on the floor.
Lady Warriors will go to the line down by 9.
And the bonus. That'll be a 1-and-1. That foul was on. Was that on Hill again? I think it was. It was on Hill. It's her 2nd. Casey Lavelle, free throw no good. Rebound Cox. Here comes Lugo, set up the offense. For the Lady Lions, they find themselves up 9 with 9 minutes left in the second half, and now they'll go up by 11 on a nice little floater from Lugo.
That's what you just got to keep doing. You got to keep the lead just large enough.
Big 3, way off. Exactly right, Tim. You can keep that lead at 8, 9, 10, 11. You get down about 2 or 3 minutes left, then it really becomes a game of free throws and just winning that the end game, which what you want to do when you have a lead like this with about 8 minutes left. You do not want to do that right there, and that's turn the ball over, and that's basically giving the Bacone Lady Warriors just a free possession to cut this lead back to 9.
Yeah,
with little to no resistance.
Yeah, that was essentially an unforced error. The full court press was not pushing that hard. Just a bad pass.
And there she bounces off the back of Hankins.
Trying the old playground gamble there. It does not work. The Lady Lions take the ball right back.
Good idea, though. I like the idea. Give her credit. Lugo, nice pass from Lugo to Cox. First shot no good, second shot no good. The rebound looks like it was off Hankins, but no, they're going to say it was off a Bacone Warrior, a Lady Warrior. We're going to keep it right here.
I'm not sure if it wasn't off the player who was attempting to actually wrangle the ball in. I think her foot might have been out of bounds, so the Lady Lions will keep the ball. Full shot clock now. Harvardton.
Oh, and two Lady Lions were going for the rebound. That was Lugo and Hankins, and they both let it go into the hands of Lady Warriors.
They had the numbers underneath the basket, just couldn't pull the ball down.
Big three from the top of the key. Nail it. Count it. Danielle Reed. And now here, another loose ball and a whistle.
And the ball will go.
And I think they've got the scoreboard wrong. It's 55-44 on your screen, and I think the scoreboard, I think they put it on the wrong side, so they'll get that cleaned up just a minute. It should be 55-47, I believe. Yeah, so they stoppage of play to get the scoreboard fixed once again. Again, we're still taking donations for a brand new scoreboard.
That one, and now this ball is going to be given to Bacone. There was some confusion after the play as to who was with. The initial indication seemed to be with the Lady Lions, but it goes to Bacone after another turnover.
And another three off the mark. Emily Lavelle put the shot up, and there was a whistle, and she's going to go to the line. I believe that's on Sodich.
Comes in on Jessica Sodich. That's her third. Now with 8 minutes left, Lady Lions just up by 8, make it 7.
And we're back to a ball game for sure. The Bacone Lady Warriors going nowhere. And it's fighting back with a lot of competitive spirit here. Missed the second one, but 7-point leads is not much at all in the college ball game.
And whoever wins this game, there's one clear-cut storyline. It's turnovers. The Lady Lions use it to their advantage to get the big lead. Lady Warriors have used it to their advantage to get it back.
Drills a three from the corner. That kind of takes the wind out of the sails of the Bacone Surge.
And it's actually being ruled a 2 here on the floor. Hate to steal your thunder there, but it's 57-48.
Oh! Got a big whistle against Bacone. He just threw Cox right to the floor.
So the Lady Lions,
and it is
up by 9.
So their foot was on the line. So
foot was just barely on the line, and that's all you need. Again, what we were saying just a moment ago, though, that's what the Lady Lions need to do. They need to keep this game around a 9 or 10-point thing. You know, I do it a lot, but I'm going to mix my sports metaphors again. It's kind of like in hockey. You want to have that 1 or 2 goal lead in the last 5 minutes, force your opponent to pull their goalie, and you can win the game easily.
Like 3 or 4,
You want to force Bacone to really start fouling you, start trying desperation threes, although right now their threes are falling.
And that free throw did not fall. So Bacone able to take advantage of that foul.
But Cassie Cox steals it right back. Lady Lions have consistently kept Bacone off their toes turnovers-wise, and that's why the Lady Lions keep a 9-point lead.
And there's a whistle from the ref on Danielle Reed.
It's a moving screen on Cassie Cox, I believe.
Oh, check that. I thought it was going to be a reach on Reed.
No, it's going to be an illegal screen on Cassie Cox. That's the 4th foul for Cassie Cox for the 2nd time in the game.
And she probably is going to come out now. And here comes Brittany Griffin set to check in, we assume, for Cox. Big three from Lavelle again. No good. Offensive rebound. Short jumper, no good from the paint. Cleared by Hill. Up to Lugo. She's got Cox. Oh, she missed her. So reset. She had Cox still in the right lane. Chose to reset it. Inside to Hankins. Fights for it. Pass over to Sodich. A whistle up and in. Count it! Sodich sends it home.
She was opposed the whole way up on that shot. Roughed up from the beginning, finds a way to put it in. Now she has a chance at the 3-point play. Lady Lions back up by 11, doing what they need to do. And that also is the 4th foul on Casey Lavelle. She's been their big 3-point threat throughout the second half. and she's found herself in very dire foul trouble. Almost a backcourt violation, saved just in time by Jasmine Robinson.
Lavelle with 9 points on the day. I think that's 3 3-pointers, Tim. And she's definitely a three-point threat for the Lady Warriors.
That's Sodich with the foul, and I believe that is also, yes, her 4th foul.
Harvington going to come back in for her.
So the two volleyball mixed basketball stars are both going to the bench with 4 fouls. Those fouls couldn't have been a more absent plot line in the first half, are going to play a very big part in the last 6:22 of this one. Both free throws are good, and the Lady Warriors cut it down to 9. Don't go anywhere. I'm not sure, if you've been a viewer of SAGU Sports Live for a while, you should know never go anywhere, no matter what.
There's
Turnover.
A steal from Bacone, a 3-ball from the outside. It's going to be short, but an offensive rebound up and in. Timeout. Lady Lions Beatles wants to talk it over. Full timeout called, and the Lady Warriors have cut this lead back to 8 with 6:11 left in the ball game.
We're going to head over to Jessica Price now on the baseline with Beverly Robinson. Jessica?
Hey, we're here. I'm with the Director of Career Services, Ms. Beverly Robinson. Career Services hosts many events for SAGU. Tell me about the one coming up, Dress for Success.
All right, we're really excited about the event on Dress for Success, where we will go through how to dress professionally for different interviews, also for special events, part-time employment, as well as doing accessories and tie-tying for the guys, and just all kinds of fun that we'll have, and just you don't want to miss it. Come on out.
All right, Tuesday, February 5th, 6 o'clock, Mutt Room, be there. Back to you guys, Rob and Tim.
All right, thank you, Bev. Great information. Always great events to help prepare our graduates for the real world here at SAGU. So we're so glad that she's in charge of events like that.
And tie time. I guess that's going to teach guys how to tie a tie. I personally know how to tie a tie.
You do? You're kidding me.
I do. I don't wear one on air because I have bad memories of clip-on ties from church when I was 4 years old. But I can tie it. I can absolutely tie the tie. So if you need me, Beverly Robinson, to come teach a session, I only know how to do a single knot, though.
I'm inspecting you. Next time I see you tying you, I'm inspecting.
If you want that Windsor double knot thing,
I think it's
not happening.
I think it's a clip-on, personally.
Lady Lions up by 8.
And there's a whistle. And that's going to be on number 20 for the Lady Warriors. Kayla Denton called for that foul. It's going to put Shahankas on the line.
And that's going to put Lady Lions in the double bonus. 10 fouls on both teams now, so it's two free throws from the line each time now. And if that's Lady Lions, that's what you want to do. Force Bacone to keep fouling you. If they want to play aggressive, go full court press, we'll put them in a position where they have to foul you. Hankins hits the first one. Lady Lions have shot really well from free throw range tonight. Don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but it's definitely been very solid, not missing their opportunities.
Hankins puts the other one. That's a nice release there. Puts that one in and back up to a 10-point lead for Southwestern as they show a 2-3 zone, trying to pack it in and pack away a win that would put them in the 8th position, replacing Bacone for that 8th and final spot. Here's a whistle and a foul out front from Lugo.
It's actually going to be on Harvington, I believe.
Well, Lugo wanted a foul. She raised her hand.
Lugo raised her hand for it, and that's
trying to shield Harvington.
It's because it's Harvington's. Well, we're hearing 4 from one source and 3 from the other. We're having some difficulties on exactly who has how many fouls. Bacone cuts it back to 9.
And now 8 with 5:55 left in your ball game. Lions are in for a fight. Warriors showing that they are Warriors and fighting back, clawing back, just hanging around, looking for a break. Maybe some missed free throws, a couple steals, that full court press. There's a shot from Lugo off the rim, no good. And hey, that's what you want, a shot well before the end of the shot clock if you're Bacone.
That's a charge. Emily Lavelle with the charge.
Yeah, Southwestern needs to milk more of that clock, and that was an inadvertent early 3, resulted in a rebound, and the other end of the court, a foul.
Lugo a little bit slow getting up, but she appears okay.
And a foul called, a charge called against Lady Warriors. Turns the ball back to the Lions. Hankins, and I'm not sure how they're going to call that. Right now, you've got Kayla Denton on the ground. Hankins' elbow landed right on the chin, but she was actually in Hankins' space, so I'm not sure how that works. It's definitely in pain.
It's going to be a difficult call.
It's gonna be a real difficult call.
And they are going to call it
an offensive foul. 2 shots on the ball. That's going to be 2 shots on the ball because of the aggressiveness of that foul.
And they're calling a flagrant foul. I think that's a step too far.
She was in her defense. Hankins was in her space, and Kayla Denton was being very aggressive in trying to deny any movement at all from Hankins. But Hankins, unfortunately, if you're a Lions fan, called for that flagrant. So 2 shots for a player of their choice, which will be Casey Lavelle, and she puts the first one in. Second one coming, and the ball will stay on this side of the court with a chance now for Bacone to cut this lead to 6, and they do, and now it could be 3 with a 3-point play here.
Yeah, that's the big thing, getting the ball back. You don't even have the chance to move it, to just get the ball back after the 2 quick free throws. We'll see now. Okay, Cordia Harvardton misunderstood. Both teams misunderstood. Now they get to the proper positions. I don't think anyone knew that it was going to be Bacone's ball. And Lugo steals it away.
From Lugo. She's got help if she wants it. Here's Hill. Delivers up and in. Great defense from Lugo. Went down court, found Hill streaking on the right side. Dished it off as she should. Hill lays it up and in, and back up to an 8-point lead.
That's just what you needed, because you couldn't afford to let this game get down to 3 or 4 points. Then you're in a really dangerous situation. Instead, you get the big steal, put it right back up by 8. Lugo coming through in the clutch. Taylor Hill finishing off.
Coach Beatles exhorting his team, play hard defense. Limit the turnovers, and you're going to win this ball game. It comes down to that simple fact: defense, rebound, limit turnovers, and you're going to win this game with 8-point lead with about 3-4 minutes left in this ball game.
Well, I think that's the big thing.
5:24 left.
I think that's the big thing. Rebounds. You need to keep on rebounding. You really can't afford to play the same amount of aggressive defense as you were earlier as forcing the turnovers, because you have the 10 fouls on your team. You don't want to just send Bacone to line for 2 free ones very quickly. You want to kind of lay back, force Bacone to put up a shot, and then you need to get the rebound. You can't let Bacone get many second chance opportunities.
And the ref explaining to Hankins, right now you see our cameras are on this discussion. She's trying to figure out, what did I do wrong? And so a cordial conversation, a good call from the ref to explain how the call went down.
Yeah, communication solves a lot of issues.
Little crossover move. She loses the ball, though.
Goes off of Sierra Hankins, though. And Lady Warriors will keep the ball. Shot clock at 19.
Destiny Duncan showed a little shake and bake, but unable to complete the play as she drove to the basket. 19 on the shot clock. Duncan will try it again, loses the ball. Here comes Lugo again. Now she's got Hill on the left side. She'll take it herself. Shot no good. And I think they're going to call number 14, Jasmine Robinson, with stepping on the line. I think she's on the line. So Southwest will get that ball back.
Oh. And a foul right as Sierra Hankins loses possession. That really helps SAGU. It's a blocking foul on Bacone. SAGU with the chance to put it back up by double digits. And Sierra makes it fall. Lady Lions up by 9. Just under 5 minutes remaining here. So Lady Lions
looking for her 8th point of the game, and she's got it.
So with just under 5 remaining, the Lady Lions back up by 10. That's where you want to be.
Absolutely. Good Lady Lion. Almost a travel there. Here comes Lavelle. It's going to be short. And Harberton almost grabbed that ball and saw that it was too short to grab, so she let it go out of bounds. And here come the Lady Lions with a full court press, easily broken. And Lugo will set it from the top with 20 left in the shot clock.
Just want to run that clock. Bacone wants to foul you, let them.
Hankins, short jumper, finds the bottom of the basket.
And Hankins
68-56.
And Hankins has 10 on the game now. The Lady Lions offense is clicking in a way we haven't seen it click in a while.
Good rotation. Oh, there's a three. She should take that, and she does take it, and it is in. It rattles several times around the rim. Finds its way. Now here's a steal from Bacone. Up, no good. Rebound and a jump ball called, and possession arrow. Possession arrow points towards
Bacone.
The Lady Warriors.
It'll go with Bacone. The Lady Lions got the jump ball earlier on. And so the Lady Warriors will retain possession.
And a block and a foul. That's going to be 3 free throws and a foul called on Hill as Casey Lavelle launched up a 3 that was initially blocked, and then a whistle came, and Hill not happy about that call. I'm not sure there was contact, but
first one no good, but still goes from a 10-point game, a chance to make it a potentially a 6-point game. Now the best they can do is 7 with just 2 free throws remaining. Second one is good. Lady Warriors, like I said, not going away. The Lady Lions have had them on the ropes most of the half. They had them down by as many as 15, 16 points.
That's Hill's 3rd foul. The only player on the court in foul trouble is Harberton with 4 fouls. No, check that, not Harberton.
That's Sodich before.
Sodich before.
Timeout is called by the ref with an injured Andrea Lugo on the court, just to reset. And Lugo has to be subbed out since the...
Right. It is Harberton with 4 fouls.
Oh, no.
No, it is with 3 fouls. The scoreboard showing 4 fouls for Sodich, who's not in the game, so we'll get that cleared up. Hill drives baseline, gets tripped. They're gonna call a foul on that's gonna be on Reed. That's gonna send Hill to the line for 2. The chance to put this thing back up to 9 for the Lions with 3:34 left.
And that's just smart basketball by Taylor Hill. She misses the first one, but just driving in, you know what the foul situation is, you know what Bacone's situation is. They can't allow you to get easy shots. So just force them into situations where they have to foul you. Hill hits the second one. The Lady Lions go up by 8.
You need some quick threes or some quick baskets and a foul if you're Lady Warriors. Here's a 3 ball. Boy, that almost went in. Rattles out, loose ball, scramble, picked up by Lugo. Griffin, back to Lugo. Now they're going to eat up some clock.
Up by 8, that's
with this
definitely
possession.
the wise move.
There's a nice play inside the Hill. Lugo finds the cutting Hill, slices through the defense, and puts the Lions back up by 10. 3 ball, way off the mark. Rebound, offensive rebound, a foul whistle. That's going to send Mariah Hadnot, who had a great first half, been quiet here in the second half, back to the line for a pair.
Foul will be on Sierra Hankins. That's her 3rd foul.
Hadnot is scoreless in the second half, still at 9 points. on the game.
Cassie Cox will step back in.
With 4 fouls. We're believing this time it's 4 fouls.
And that's the thing, there's few enough, not enough time left now, so you can definitely put back in a player in foul trouble.
And Beadle's not happy with the foul from Griffin. Lets her sit down for a moment. Think about that. 1 free throw good. Hadnot now up to 10 points. Pressure applied, full court pressure applied. Line's able to break it. A long skip pass over to Harberton. Back over to Hill. And now we're going to eat some more clock with now 14 left.
Under 2.5 left to play.
This is smart offensive set. A foul. Oh, nice prayer, nice shot. Although you're going to get a couple anyway. It's nice just to throw it up, see if you get lucky, and that'll send Harberton to the line.
Well, more than anything, you know that you have the player in a position that's fouling you, so you put it up. Timeout is called by Bacone. Oh, no, that's no timeout. It's going to be an official timeout because that is the 5th foul by Casey Lavelle. So she fouls out. So this is a 5th foul, brief stoppage of play to get a sub in for the Lady Warriors.
And it's going to be number 20 checking in, Kayla Denton, the sophomore from Mena, Arkansas, 5'6" sophomore, as the younger sister, Casey Lavelle, fouls out of this ball game. She finishes with 15 points on the day, and a handful of those were 3-point shots, Tim.
I will check the stat sheet. I wouldn't be surprised if all 5 of those
they
were
may have all 5 have been.
She was shooting from beyond 3-point range all evening.
She had she had 1 by halftime. She had 1 3-pointer at halftime.
And she's been one of the reasons that they stayed in striking distance throughout the second half. But now with the Lions going to the line, under 2.5 left, up by 9. Lady Lions, at this point, you got to play. You don't have to play mistake-free basketball, but you need to play without a lot of mistakes, and you should be okay.
Harberton set to shoot 2 for the Lady Lions.
Updated stats, we just got them in. Actually, for Casey Lavelle, 9 of her 15 points are from 3-point range, and then she picked up 6 out of 8 from free throws. Lady Lions are shooting 47% for the game right now. Lady Warriors just 31%. They've shot 37, make it 38 3-pointers in the game. They're just 8 for 38 from 3-point range, and that average is going to be at about 20%, well below what you're aiming for, obviously.
Taylor Hill with 16 points and 6 assists so far, and we'll be naming a player of the game shortly, and she's going to be in the running for sure. And here's a whistle, a foul called on Bacone. That's going to be Mariah Hadnot, and it's going to send Lugo back to the line. Under 2 minutes now, 9-point lead.
11-point lead.
11-point lead, under 2 minutes to play. You would think this might be enough. Does that one sneak in there? Nope, still misses. You know, I still remember when Reggie Miller, scored 8 points in 10 seconds. So anything can happen, but that's very rare as Lugo puts her Lady Lions back up by 12. There's a pass inside, up and in. That's good basketball right there. Where's that been for the Bacone all day?
I was about to say, we have not seen anything like that. Lady Lions defense has done a great job limiting the easy access to the basket. And with under 2 minutes, first time ever, really, we see a good, just crisp pass inside, finding an easy lane to the basket. That has not been happening for the Lady Warriors at any point. Lady Lions will just run the clock as low as they can now. Hill to Harberton.
Shot no good, way off the mark. Rebound cleared by Bacone. They're going to have to hurry. Down by 10, a minute 15 left. Another inside post move, another nice finish.
Well, you don't want to let it happen that easily. Just because you had the 12-point lead doesn't mean you relax too much.
Yeah, Beatles is telling him don't foul, so they're coming a bit easier, obviously, but that was too fast, too easy.
Taylor Hill misses, but Cassie Cox gets the rebound.
Nice offensive board from Cox, and we'll reset.
And now with
under a minute to play now.
Yeah, under a minute to play, and Bacone finally comes out and fouls, but it's with under 50 seconds remaining. So that'll send Lugo to the line for 2. Chance to go back up by 10 with under 50 seconds on the clock. You have to feel good by the Lady Lions. Lugo misses the first, though.
Croc with 13 and 4 assists on the day. She's having a great game, and we've also talked about Brittany Griffin quite a bit. She's got 10 points, 1 assist, 2 steals.
Again, 16 assists for the Lady Lions. That's very good basketball. Three is up, no good. Rebound is blocked by Harvington.
Harvington, a great play. Now under 30 seconds left. 9-point lead, another whistle, and this game is all but in the books.
That's the 5th foul on Mariah Hadnot, so she'll have to check out.
And we're gonna name our player of the game in a really tough one to call between Taylor Hill and Bethany Croc, the 2 guards. Outstanding play, both starting point guards. We're gonna give our player of the game today to Bethany Croc, who with a minute left is sitting with 13 points, 4 assists, and 4 steals on the game. And add to that 3 rebounds.
Yeah, and I think the big stat is there that I think what elevates her to the mention of that is the steals. The steals have really helped the Lady Lions so much. They came out in the second half just frustrating the Lady Warriors offense, nabbing steal after steal, and it was Croc who had so many of those. And you see Sierra Hankins get one more foul on Bacone, and that'll send the Lady Lions to the line again, and that's another 5th foul, the 3rd Lady Warrior to foul out.
The other sister is going to take a seat. Yep. That's Emily Lavelle.
She'll sit down. The Lady Lions will go, Lugo again will go to the line. The Lady Lions have this one in hand with 17 seconds remaining. And yeah, Croc again, she's making her home debut, not her home debut, but her home starting debut. She's put on a great show, was part of that big run to end the first half. And ever since then, really, this has just kind of been a back-and-forth ball game in the second half, but the Lady Lions took such a commanding lead in the last 6 minutes of the first half and the first few of the second half that back and forth was enough to hold on, as they will definitely hold on to beat Bacone and move into the 8th spot of the Red River Conference.
And that is good enough for potential postseason play. Now, granted, there's 10 games left, so a lot of time left between those bottom 5 teams you mentioned, but it's good to know that we now have the 8th spot secured at this point.
For the moment, the Lady Lions are the 8th seed in the Red River Conference. They win a big one at home after 5 straight games on the road.
77-68 your final. The Lions climb to 4-10 in Red River Conference play and steal the 8th spot from these Bacone Lady Warriors. And we'll be right back with some more thoughts and comments after this. Stay tuned here on SAGU Sports TV on SAGU TV Live.
Welcome back to the Schaefer Center, where the Lady Lions reign victorious, holding on for a 9-point lead in a big game that saw them down early but saw them fight back. And really, if they're going to find a way to hold on to a playoff spot this year, that's how they're going to have to win games. Shoot better than they have been all year and use that defense that can just hold an opponent well below their shooting and scoring average and just keep on forcing those turnovers. So an excellent game, and it moves them into that 8th spot, as we've said multiple times now, but it's worth noting this season, when they lost to St. Thomas, you kind of thought, wow, is this season just going south from here on out?
They did not look good, to be honest, at all 3 weeks ago. This is a completely different ball club, Tim.
That 5-game road swing put them through the fire, and they're ready to go now. Well, we're going to go ahead and throw to a break. Coming up in just a few moments is pregame for the men's game. Be sure and hang around for that here on SAGU Sports Live.